parliament. The parliament is composed of 115 seats. Each member state has a guaranteed minimum of 5 seats, while the remaining 40 seats are shared based on population. However, only 97 members, comprising lawmakers from various member states, were sworn. They include 35 members from Nigeria and 5 each from Benin Republic, Cape Verde, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Togo. Others include 8 members from Ghana, 7 from Cote d'Ivoire, and 6 each from Senegal and Guinea. The federal government has disclosed plans to assemble 120 Nigerian researchers, startups, and stakeholders in artificial intelligence to formulate a cohesive framework for AI implementation throughout the nation. The Minister of Communications, Innovation, and Digital Economy, Mr. Bosun Tijani, disclosed this in a statement posted on his X account, formerly known as Twitter. The minister said a team of AI researchers and startups would come up with the framework at the National Artificial Intelligence Strategy Workshop, billed for April 15 through 18, 2024, in Abuja. He said the workshop is supported by Luminate, a global firm dedicated to driving trans-regional change. Mr. Tijani stated that the resulting strategy will help deliver the priorities and implementation approach towards improving lives and growing Nigeria's economy through the application of AI. The National Shippers Association of Nigeria, NSAN, has urged the federal government to build more deep-sea ports in the country in order to decongest the ports in Lagos. The President General of NSAN, Dr. Innocent Akuvue, made the appeal in a chat with newsmen in Lagos. Dr. Akuvue linked the dependence on Lagos port for vehicle importation on the lack of roll-on-roll-off facilities in other ports within the country. According to the shipper, bringing vehicles to ports where there were fewer activities would create more problems for the importers. The Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, ASCSN, has lamented the hike in electricity tariff in the country. National President of ASCSN, Mr. Etim Okon, reacted to the new increase in tariff while speaking with newsmen in Abuja yesterday. The federal government on April 3 announced the new increase in electricity tariff. Mr. Okon said the hike in electricity tariff from 66 naira per kilowatt hour to 225 naira per kilowatt an hour for those who enjoy electricity supply for 20 hours per day is totally unacceptable and a recipe for unrest. According to him, the federal government was prioritizing revenue generation over the welfare of Nigerians who are currently struggling to survive. He noted that the government, in the announcement, had said that the planned hike in electricity tariff would ensure at least 20 hours of power supply and called on the government to find ways of stabilizing the economy before thinking of how to generate more revenue through taxation, urging it to reconsider its stance and reverse to the old tariff. The Private Telecommunications and Communications Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PTESSAN, has suspended its planned strike, which was to begin today. A statement signed by the body's General Secretary, Okonu Abdullahi, said the suspension followed the agreement reached with the subcontractors it had issues with. The union had on Tuesday announced plans to embark on an indefinite strike over alleged unresolved issues with subcontractors linked with the Hawaii Technologies Nigeria Limited. It also alleged that despite efforts by the Ministry of Labor and Employment to address the concerns through conciliatory meetings, the companies had failed to engage the union constructively, leaving no option but to resort to industrial action. The union's demands include immediate recognition of employers' or employees' fundamental rights to association, acknowledgement of the union as a negotiating body for workers' welfare, and proper remittance of membership dues. The Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, Mr. Bashir Adeniyi, has said the service will launch the Customs Analytical Laboratory. Mr. Adeniyi said this during a media briefing at the service's headquarters in Abuja. He said the laboratory would enhance NCS's capacity to detect and prevent smuggling, counterfeit goods, and other illicit activities at the port. Mr. Deng said the initiative would take effect between the second quarter and the third quarter of the year 2024. He said its primary objective was to ensure compliance with customs regulations by providing accurate and reliable testing and analysis of imported and exported goods. According to him, the project was also designed to determine the authenticity, composition, quality, and safety of goods, including testing for chemical composition, product integrity, and adherence to regulatory standards through various technological-based tests. You're watching Delta TV Main News at 8. Still to come, South Africa's Speaker of Parliament resigns over corruption allegations. Stay with us. Our World News Desk.
Speaker of Parliament, Nosiviwe Mampisa Nkakula, has handed herself over to police a day after she resigned over corruption allegations. Ms. Mampisa Nkakula arrived at a police station in Centurion, 40 kilometers from Johannesburg today. She was due to make her first court appearance at Pretoria Magistrate Court on charges of corruption. The politician is accused of soliciting bribes in return for awarding contracts during her time as defense minister. After weeks of investigations, Ms. Mampisa Nkakula resigned yesterday, saying the move wasn't an indication or admission of guilt. She said given the seriousness of the probe, she could not continue her role. She had previously denied any wrongdoing. Last month, a special police unit raided her Johannesburg home in connection with the corruption investigation. The 67-year-old veteran of the anti-apartheid struggle became speaker in 2021. Before that, she served as defense minister for 7 years. Last week, Ms. Mampisa Nkakula's lawyer filed a request for a court order to prevent her arrest, saying it would infringe on her dignity. The resignation comes ahead of next month's general election, which some believe could be difficult for the governing African National Congress, ANC. Airline passengers at major airports will continue to face limits on the amount of liquid they can carry in hand luggage this summer after a deadline for new scanners was extended. Major airports were to be allowed to miss the latest deadline for installing scanners to end the 100 ml liquid limits. London Gatwick, Heathrow, and Manchester airports were all expected to miss the June 1 rollout date. A Department for Transport source said the delays were for genuine reasons. Airports had to apply individually for year-long extensions, which could mean passengers might have to continue removing liquids and laptops out of hand luggages until June 2025. Some smaller airports had met the deadline, including Luton, London City, and Teesside. The Department for Transport said the Civil Aviation Authority would impose financial penalties on airports that keep missing deadlines. Rescuers in Taiwan are working to reach more than 600 stranded people a day after the island experienced its worst earthquake in 25 years. One survivor has recounted how tremors unleashed rock slides like bullets around the coal mine he was working at. The 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit near the eastern county of Hualien, killing 9 and injuring more than 1,000. Some stuck in tunnels and near a national park had been rescued by helicopters, but 34 were still missing. The official number of people trapped and stranded rose considerably from about 100 to 663 today as people started getting phone signals back in the mountainous region. Almost all were guests and staff of a remote hotel who could not leave because of damaged roads. Officials were now trying to work out the best way to get them out. 7 aid workers from the World Central Kitchen (WCK) have been killed in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza. The WCK said the victims were British, Polish, Australian, Palestinian, and also included a dual US-Canadian citizen. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had acknowledged that the Israeli military hit innocent people, describing it as tragic and unintentional. Ms. Lauzomi Francom, 43, is one of the victims. Her family in a statement said Ms. Francom died doing the work she loves. The aid worker from Melbourne, Australia, was the WCK's relief lead in Gaza. She was described as a kind, selfless, and outstanding human being who traveled the world helping others in their time of need.
Where the media has been advised not to indulge in amplifying the activities of terrorists, insurgents, militants, and other deviant groups to avoid instilling fear in law-abiding citizens. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Lagbaja, gave the advice during the Nigerian Army Civil Military Cooperation quarterly media chat with the theme, Imperatives of Military-Media Partnership for the Attainment of National Security in Asaba. Pere Botu has details.
The Chief of Army Staff, represented by the General Officer commanding the 6th Division, Port Harcourt, Major General Jamal Abdul Salam, said terrorists, insurgents, militants, and other criminals thrived on the attention given them by the media. He said it was only through collective efforts that the military could effectively combat insecurity and restore peace to the nation, underscoring the critical role played by the military and the media in safeguarding national security. Lieutenant General Lagbaja noted that through accurate and responsible reporting, the media played a crucial role in informing citizens, fostering dialogue, and strengthening national security, while the military, as enshrined in the Constitution, defended the territorial integrity of the country from external threats. He said the media was a link between the military and the public in providing essential information, shaping public opinion, and holding institutions accountable. The Army Chief pointed out that the attainment of national security required more than just the deployment of troops and the acquisition of advanced weaponry, stressing that the trust and cooperation of citizens and the media was necessary to achieving the goal.
The attainment of national security requires more than just the deployment of troops and the acquisition of advanced weaponry. It entails the trust and cooperation of the citizens as well as the media. At the heart of this partnership lies the principle of civil-military cooperation, which seeks to foster understanding, collaboration, and synergy between the military and civil actors, including especially the media. By embracing this principle, we can bridge the gap between the military and the public, dispel misconceptions, and build trust and confidence in our security institutions.
In his remarks, the Chief of Civil Military Cooperation, Major General Nosakari Ugbo, said the event offered a unique opportunity to bridge the gap between the military and the media by fostering mutual understanding, adding that in collaborating with the media, the Nigerian Army would ensure that accurate and balanced information reached the public while dispelling misinformation and rumors that could sow public distrust. The Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, VON, Malam Jibri Indache, who declared the session open, said the complex security challenges in the country had made a synergy between the military and the media imperative. He noted that through continued cooperation between the military and the media, the multifaceted challenges facing the country would be addressed to promote peace, bearing in mind national security. The State Commissioner for Information, Dr. Ifeanyi Osoza, lauded the Nigerian Army for organizing the media chat as it underscored the important roles played by the media and the military geared towards a better society. He affirmed that the relationship between the military and the media ought to be symbiotic towards ensuring accurate and balanced information dissemination without jeopardizing national security. In her remarks, the General Manager, Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, Mrs. Christine Emetelu, commended the Nigerian Army for the theme of the media chat, saying it was apt, bearing in mind the crucial roles the military and the media played in the attainment of national security. She pledged the commitment of the station to partnering with the Army in enhancing peace and security in line with the state government's agenda on peace building and security.
The Nigerian military has remained a pillar of our democracy since the birth of the Fourth Republic, and she continues to promote and inspire our political development within the ambit of the Nigerian Constitution and the rule of law. The government...
I am Pere Botu reporting.
Outgoing Batch A Corps members that served in Government House, Asaba, have been challenged to acquire relevant skills that will translate them into assets in the labor market in addition to their academic qualification. The Permanent Secretary, Government House, Mr. Victor Udi, gave the charge at a send-forth party organized for members of the National Youth Service Corps that served in Government House. Ejime Odueme reports.
Who congratulated the corps members for compulsory one-year service to the nation, reminded them that skills acquisition was indispensable in this era where white-collar jobs were non-existent. He said he was happy that they gave their best while Government House and advised them to uphold trades in this new chapter of their lives. The peers who said NYC was a platform to strengthen the bond of unity among different ethnic nationalities in the country affirmed that the program has achieved set goals.
We need additional skills for us to survive. Even as an individual, you need additional skills in spite of whatever certificates you possess. We have professors who have additional skills that will keep them, going, skills that make them have additional income. We cannot but wish them the best of luck and asking that God Almighty would keep and protect them.
He gave an assurance that conducive working environment would be provided for corps members in the directorate to achieve said goals, pledging the support of staff in contributing to the success of the more agenda of Governor Sheriff Oborevwori. Some of the management staff in the Directorate of Government House, Mr. Francis Ibonka, Mr. Itobore Emokiniovo, Mrs. Tega Olonwuhua, and Mr. Felix Ofobruku thanked the corps members for giving their best and urged them not to allow the socio-economic challenges in the country derail them from achieving set goals. Ms. Adeleke Adijat, who spoke on behalf of other outgoing corps members, pledged to be good ambassadors of the state and the nation at large.
They have encouraged us to strive for excellence. They have been like our pillar, guiding us on the right path. We say a very big thank you. And moving on from here, we promise to be good ambassadors, and we won't do anything that will bring shame to the good name of Delta State.
She said no effort would be spared in the acquisition of skills to complement their degrees in line with what was needed in the labor market. Highlight was presentation of souvenirs to the outgoing corps members. Ejime Uduime reporting.
Let's join our business news desk for happenings in the business sector.
Continued its gain against the United States dollar, appreciating both at the official foreign exchange and parallel market to the delight of many Nigerians. At the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, the Naira gained 16 Naira and 1.26% as the dollar was quoted at 1,262.85 per dollar yesterday, stronger than 1,278.58 closed on Tuesday, data from the FMDQ Security Exchange indicated. This means the local currency has steady dollar supply, pushes Naira to 1,262 per dollar, continued its positive streak against the green with expectations of further appreciation. The appreciation of the local currency was attributed to the several foreign exchange policies implemented by the Central Bank of Nigeria to boost dollar supply and enhance transparency in the FX market. On June 14, 2023, the CBN abolished market segmentation and collapsed all into the investors and exporters window and reintroduced the willing buyers, willing seller framework, among other reforms. Early this year, the Central Bank of Nigeria directed the international money transfer operators to quote an exchange rate for Naira payout to beneficiaries based on the prevailing market price. The banking and finance sector regulators in February 2024 discontinued any form of cap on the spread of interbank forex transaction and the restriction on the sales of interbank proceeds. In the same month, the CBN limited the payout of personal travel allowance and the business travel allowance to electronic channel only. In March 2024, the volatility of the Naira was reduced following several reforms by the CBN to improve transparency and inflow into the FX market. The Nigerian government moves to revise electricity tariff, set to deliver a 52% cut in monthly subsidy expenses. The reduction will see the current 261.2 billion naira figure fall to around 125.94 billion naira, unlocking a significant 135.26 billion naira in monthly fiscal savings. The heart of Nigerian political power, Abuja harbors the most considerable congregation of premium electricity consumers classified under Band A, who will invariably bear the brunt of this cost recalibration. The new tariff range is 33.95 naira to 225 naira, and the monthly subsidy cost 18.95 billion naira, down from 38.01 billion naira previously. There are indications that Nigerians' huge dependency on imported petrol would reduce as the $20 billion Dangote refinery has concluded plans to begin supply of petrol to Nigeria's domestic market from May 2024. Before the coming on stream of the 650 barrels per day refinery, the nation had depended almost 100% on imported petrol to meet demands. Part provided by Dangote refinery indicates that at full capacity, the facility will produce 99 million liters of gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and kerosene per day. Meanwhile, the price of automotive gas oil, popularly known as diesel, has dropped by 20.6% to 1,350 naira per liter in April 2024 from 1,700 naira per liter in March 2024 as the refinery pumps more supplies to the market. Nigeria's inflation and foreign exchange crisis had pushed the prices of the product, which was mostly imported from the global market, to about 1,700 naira per liter in most parts of the nation, including Lagos and Abuja.
The monthly meeting of the Hanyocha Social Circle will hold on Saturday, April 6, 2024. A statement signed by the Publicity Secretary of the body, Mr. Ephraim Osubo, says this month's meeting will hold at the residence of Sir Ben Monteke, Udumene Quarters, Iseluku, Hanyocha South local government area. The statement has enjoined members to be punctual to the meeting, which begins at 1 in the afternoon. And now a missing document that belongs to Mrs. Gloria Izumoke, containing international passport, court marriage certificate, and other valuables was forgotten in a tricycle conveying passengers from DBS Junction to former deputy of DBS Road, Asaba. Anyone with useful information on the lost item should please visit Delta Broadcasting Service, Public Relations Unit, or call on 0806 850 1666, 0703 222-5736 or visit the nearest police station. And now, our thought for the day. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated on a daily basis. To end the news, the main points again. The media has been advised not to indulge in amplifying the activities of terrorists, insurgents, militants, and other deviant groups to avoid instilling fear in law-abiding citizens. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarut Lagbaja, gave the advice during the Nigerian Army Civil Military Cooperation Quarterly Media Chat with the theme, Imperatives of Military Media Partnership for the Attainment of National Security in Asaba. Communities in the state have been called upon to take ownership of and protect public schools within their domains. The call came from the chairman of the State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, Honorable Samuel Marere, at a meeting with local education authorities, school-based management committee, head teachers, and other stakeholders in the education sector. And abroad, South Africa's Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Nosowini Mpasa Nkwakula, has handed herself over to the police a day after she resigned over corruption allegations. Mrs. Mapisa arrived at a police station in Centurion, 40 kilometers from Johannesburg, today. And that's all on the news tonight. My name is Francis Ofulwe. Thanking you for watching. Good evening. Good night.